I have a question for the group, so Nate, please participate. We know Georgia plays LSU. We know the game. We know TCU has a championship. We know USC has a championship. So the top six will obviously have a shakeup coming in. We know that at least three of these teams will probably may or may not make it out.
Yeah.
Who do you have in the championship as of today? Trying to predict the future.
Wait, so we're predicting the future for the championship later and not knowing who's going to be in the top four yet.
Well, we know that Georgia plays LSU. We know that
if
Ohio
everybody wins
State,
if everybody wins next week,
no, that's a lock.
right? But doesn't mean that they're going in there with the same records they have.
Yes, we're going to assume that Georgia and LSU win next week.
Okay.
We're going to assume that TCU makes it to their championship and USC makes it to their championship. We're going to assume that the winner of the game wins their championship. Who do you have in the playoff?
In the playoff or in the championship?
In the playoff.
Okay. So you changed up the games here. Who do you have? Posing the question, sir.
I have Georgia, Ohio State, USC, and I'm sketchy on 4.
Okay, I have Georgia, Ohio State, TCU, USC.
Okay.
I'm off on those 4.
Yeah, I think Georgia, Ohio State, TCU, and yeah, USC. I think for me, as long as, like I said, as long as they win, because I just think it's going to be the same 4. I think the only 4 I see changing is whoever loses between Ohio State and Michigan has a chance to drop out. Now, I could see if Ohio State and Michigan play a close game and Ohio State wins, you get Georgia, Ohio State, TCU. And then say USC looks bad or LSU, you know what I mean? If USC looks bad, I think I would put Michigan in above like an LSU or Penn State.
Well, you also have Clemson sitting there in the wings.
And Bama.
But you're not a 2-loss Bama is not going to get in.
No.
There's a 2-loss Penn State then.
I never said a 2-loss Penn State had a chance.
I'm talking out.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying a 1-loss Michigan, I think could get in still.
I could see Georgia, Ohio State, USC. TCU wins their championship. And then there's that debate of how close the game was. I could see somebody bumping TCU out.
No, I think
TCU has to get style points.
I think I disagree. If TCU goes undefeated and wins their conference championship, they will be if they are not in the top 4, I think that's bullshit.
Nobody said it wasn't bullshit. If they have a tight game against Kansas State and Michigan has a tight game against Ohio State.
Yeah, but they do always say they're apparently valuing the conference championship.
Right.
I think the only chance that the loser of Ohio State Michigan has is if like USC loses and TCU win. Like I'm saying, if TCU wins out,
that's not a bad point.
Yeah.
So we think TCU is not on the edge sitting out. We think USC is. Is that what we're saying?
Yes. As long as TCU handles their business, it is theirs to lose, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think look on USC definitely they're in control of their own destiny right now. If USC wins out, they're going to get in because somebody's going to knock one of the other ones out between Ohio State, Michigan. That's a given. I don't see Georgia losing, and TCU again. They control their own destiny.
Okay.
USC's winning in.
Yeah,
Okay.
USC wins, they're in. TCU wins, they're in. Because Ohio State, Michigan, they're going to knock each other out.
LSU beats Georgia.
I don't think Georgia falls out of 4 unless they get pummeled like Tennessee did this week.
I think if LSU beats Georgia, Georgia's not going to fall out.
No.
TCU bump up or LSU bump up.
It's a
Not
two
high enough,
loss though. I mean, they've got to
Yeah,
look
two loss
good.
team.
not high enough to get in. It would have to be that
Yeah.
it would be either between USC and LSU at that point. I'm putting USC in. I would probably put it at the winner of Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, TCU, and then either USC or LSU.
I think that's a more interesting conversation then.
I don't think there's any interesting to it.
They beat the number one team.
A 2-loss beats the number 1 team.
LSU's loss is to Bama and Georgia, right? No, they beat Bama.
Yes,
Who's the other loss to?
LSU. Let's see.
it was someone. Not
LSU
very-
lost to Florida State.
I was gonna say it was early on.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, you're right.
So they're not a 2-loss team then.
They would be if they lost to.
You're saying that they beat
Oh,
Georgia.
no, yeah, they beat Georgia.
Are we correct? They're only 1-loss team right now. LSU.
The LSU has 2 losses.
Who's their other loss to?
Florida State.
Who's their
And
other
who?
loss to?
Oh,
Whatever.
sorry. I thought that was that one. Hold on, my bad.
Very interesting.
Did they lose to Florida?
No.
This is LSU. If my phone will load.
Good conversation.
I know. Somebody cue the Jeopardy music.
I'm gonna see if I start now if I can beat Nate.
I know that's the race.
I'm
to
already
beat Bama.
trying.
LSU lost to Tennessee,
Yeah.
Okay.
40-13.
Oh, yeah, no. USC's in.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's very interesting.
Very interesting.